Y'all know I'm an idiot. I'd say it. I say, yeah, I was talking about you.
Yep.
I don't like lying, so I'll tell the truth.
Big Boy and SZA put out an album. So good.
Oh yeah, music's on the rise nowadays, man. Where you been?
I mean, I've been here. I don't leave my house. I get the music to me.
Hey, you tell that girl you've been talking to about that.
I ain't talking to nobody.
Don't let him lie to you. He talking to man. Don't let him lie to you.
You got
You
video
already
to
set
win.
up a long. He already set up a date with her out in the future.
Wait a minute. I'm like so confused right now. Like, so you date?
No,
No, this
I'm
dude is
messing with
joking.
him.
Yeah,
I'm messing with him. It's this girl that really likes him, and he is trying everything in the world to get away from
Why
I
don't
think
you
the
block her?
only by because I don't want any part of a relationship with anyone, and she happens to fall into the subset of anyone.
I don't understand why you can't block her.
because he's nice.
Because like I feel like the only way to actually get out of the situation is to utterly destroy her.
I think that
Like,
that is so unnecessary.
well,
Why are
I
you?
live on
Why
the
would you even
extremes
waste your effort?
Ah,
because
That's too much effort.
I don't know. It is effort, but it's also effort to like knowing me. I'm so passive. Like I might just accidentally fall into something, and I don't want that to happen because I see that happening so much. Accidentally lead her on. I feel like I'll accidentally be like, yeah, yeah, we're just friends and then all that kind of stuff, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to set up the boundary.
So, do you like attract like alpha type women, aggressive women? Is that what you're attracting?
I mean, this hasn't happened before ever because
it
I
really
don't do
hasn't.
anything outside of the house. I'm a hermit like recluse. I interact with the people I work with because I go to work. I interact with the people I play games with because I play games, and that's about it.
So you're a hermit
So
recluse. Gotcha.
yeah, so this is uncharted territory.
All right. I mean, I'm using a different microphone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, good. Because it sounds better when I do that when I finish recording it. Awesome. Yeah, it's a new thing for him. So it's interesting. I'm just laughing because he didn't see the signs because she definitely wanted to go on a date with you. That's exactly what happened.
She wanted
Yeah,
to.
She did.
that's a problem because the only way out I could see is to destroy it, and I
I
don't
would
feel like
stop saying
crossing
that
that
for
line.
multiple reasons. Number one, I wouldn't say that because it sounds violent. Number two, it sounds sexual. Uh,
See, I don't even know the nuance terms between everything. How do I say break her spirit to the point that she is no longer a factor without making it sound
Why
violent or
don't you just
sexual?
tell her that you're not interested in her?
oh, he's done that.
What did you say specifically?
I said, I'm not interested in making friends. And she took that as a challenge. She's like, I'll be your friend. I'm like,
So
okay.
okay, so you have to be specific with people like that. You can't say your friend because that's general because it almost is like it means anybody and I still have an option.
See, that's the thing. Like, I explicitly explained to her by definition of friendship. And, like, she knows exactly where I'm coming from. So, like, in my mind, like, I only have, like, one friend in life, period. And everyone else is just an acquaintance I meet, which, I mean, I'll spend time with them, I'll hang out with them and all that. I actually recently kind of accidentally broke up with some friends I used to hang out with because I told them that. They didn't really take kindly to that. They're like, "What? After everything we've been through?" I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it's just my definition of friendship. I think friendship is like a way, way, way like the top tier relationship status, pretty much next to family. But I mean, that's just my experience. So for me to call, for me to call someone a friend, I'm really like pretty much like,
You're my brother.
yeah,
Yep. And she did not take she took a lot of offense when you said that I was your friend.
yeah. For some reason, she's like, so like when I told her that, I'm like, she's like, okay, so how many friends do you have? I'm like, well, there's this one guy I went to middle school with. She's like, oh, I only have to beat one person. I'm like, no, that's not what that means. This isn't going anywhere at all. Period. Point blank. And I guess she took that as flirting. I don't know. I don't know how she. I mean, I know how she took it because of how she's acting now, but I don't know how to make it stop with that because I feel like I'm being as blunt as I can.
So I feel like you wasn't blunt when you said, "I just want to be." I don't. What did you say before? Like, oh,
I
I'm
don't
not
want
interested.
anything with her.
Yeah, you said you're not interested in being her friend or interested in having friends. And you should have been specific to the point where it's like, I'm not interested in you.
You know,
I don't
she's
want to be
right.
friends with you, and take the general part away because, like I said before, it's almost like you could be talking about anybody, but you're not necessarily talking about me. And so that still gives me a chance. Because you're not saying you don't want to be friends with me. You're saying you just don't really want to have friends.
Yeah, and I that makes sense. I agree with that, except for her coming back and basically like when I told her that in general, she sort of made it about her when she said, you know, oh, so I only have to beat one person. And I'm like, no, you're not doing that. I felt like that was me directing it towards her because she already centered herself in the general vicinity of that discussion.
Didn't she also set you up a date in September with her?
Yeah. And I already, like, I told her no. Like, and the fact that you're calling this a date completely irks me because you know me. You know exactly where I'm coming from.
Look, Danielle. Okay, here's the thing. She said we need to do this again, and he jokingly said, "How about September?" And then she picked a day in September. By the way, it's still May when this happens.
See, in my mind, I'm like, if I pick something far enough away, she'll forget. But the danger of that is if she remembers, that means she was thinking about it.
Look, she picked a day. It's in her calendar.
Wow.
Uh,
It sounds like you're dealing with a sociopath.
Oh, yes.
So,
you're the second person to say that.
yeah.
You might just need to not answer her text messages.
Just block her. What kind of phone do you have?
Oh, that's another thing. I've recently came into the 21st century and got a smartphone. For the longest time, I was running around with that Nokia T-Mobile brick.
What kind of phone?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying.
What kind of phone?
I'm really enjoying this HTC One.
Okay, so go to your contacts, click on her name, and find the block button and press it. And
So that'll
voila.
completely.
Unless you still live at your house, because she does know where he lives. He forgot to tell you that part.
She's not going to show up at your house.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't think she will. I don't think she will. I feel like I feel like she's mousy and quiet and shy enough not to make any.
Okay.
And that's kind of teetering on the, you know, aggressive side.
Mm-hmm.
Physically showing up to a location that she was uninvited to.
That's true. Yeah. I've been with some crazy women and they have not done yet. So I can see that. That's a little bit more aggressive than yeah. But you should not have gone on that lunch together. It wasn't a date. It was a lunch together.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, would you consider going to Waffle House a date? Like, just in general.
If we was going to IKEA, then I would, but not Walmart.
Oh no! They're going to Waffle House. Hello.
Yeah.
Girl. But no, Danielle, it was a Waffle House.
Literally Waffle House. In the middle of the day, lunchtime, 11. Nothing should scream romance or getting to know you or anything about that.
You would think so.
I think you just like, I think, like, my hope is that I can take her at face value and she's really just trying to be my friend. And that's the end of it. Because at that point, it's just like, yeah, there's no way that's happening because I'm not into the whole, like, my definition of friendship is too up there for just anyone to be put in there. And I've already explicitly said no to all newcomers, essentially. So with that in my head, I feel I could handle the situation better. But the problem is, I got people like Jason whispering in my ear, going like, "Oh yeah, she's definitely trying to be more than friends. Oh yeah, she's definitely out to get you." I'm like, I don't think so. I'm a really hope not. But the fact that that's a distinct possibility makes me question everything. Because again, I haven't been in this situation before at all. Never wanted to be in this situation. Because now I'm juggling with the thought that, okay, what if she is speaking from the heart and I can take her at face value and this is all in my head. If I go through with my plan to basically crush her spirit and basically throw away like used tissue or whatever, then I'm the one just looking like a crazy person because she was just being a regular person.
So do you trust yourself?
I trust myself to know that I'm in a new situation, so I need to take in all the factors.
So you don't trust what your intuition is telling you?
My intuition is telling me like 5 different things.
I feel like you need to get all the people in your head to come to a unanimous agreement on what's going on. But I mean, clearly you don't want to be in any type of relationship with her. So what is preventing you from just hitting that block button?
That's a very good
conversing with the people in my head right now.
How many you got there?
He's got a few.
I mean, part of the reason that I write like fantasy novels and stuff is just so I could give the people in my head something to do. So
you consider yourself to be asexual, aromantic, correct?
not asexual.
Not asexual.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a difference. There's a sexual.
Wait. Do y'all want to put this in the episode?
Yeah. I want all of this in the episode because I feel like.
Oh, we are live.
Yeah, we are live. But he can essentially edit the audio clips before it's actually posted.
Oh, she's a podcaster. Don't let her get twisted. She know. Sorry. Go on. Sorry.
So you want to do the spin-in?
No. We'll do that last.
Okay. So the only thing preventing me from making a move right now is a little bit twofold, but it basically stems from one thing. I feel like, and I hate to say that I feel like I'm too nice because I don't want to do anything to upset any sort of, like, I don't want to hurt people in any way.
So you don't want to hurt her feelings. but you can't just go along with it.
Yeah, that's the impasse I'm at because I feel like the only way to break away from it would be to hurt her feelings some kind of way.
I mean, she's a grown woman, right? She's not a teenager.
Yeah, but I recently discovered, like after discovering that apparently friendship means a lot of things to a lot of different people, that grown men act can be hurt very much too. So
But
feelings are weird.
but she's not actually trying to be your friend, right? I mean, that's the guy she's using. She's not really trying to be your friend. She wouldn't be putting all this effort into just being your friend. She wants something more.
It's very true.
So considering that that she wants something more and you don't, it would actually almost be even more cruel to let her believe, because in her mind right now she's kind of believing that she has some kind of shot. So it would be more cruel for you to let this prolong and her actually start to develop feelings when you knew that that's how she felt from the beginning. So I mean, that's one way to look at that. And then another is, it's like, why would you even, if you even know that this is not something that you want, why would you even prolong it when you don't want to be there? Like, that's just like I don't even get that. Because I mean, you don't want to have a relationship with her, right? I mean, you don't a
Right.
friendship. You don't want to have a friendship with her. And the third thing, and it's one thing that I noticed that guys do, is they try to think for a woman and um, think for her and react for her, and kind of coddle. And in a sense, you kind of want to coddle her a little bit because you don't want to hurt her feelings. To say that, one, she can't. It's almost like she wouldn't be able to accept you not wanting her because you're the man and she's the woman, and that's just how this stuff goes. I mean, you can look at it that way. So you can't think for her and say, I tell her this, I'm going to hurt her feelings, and she's not going to be able to deal, and she's going to be really hurting. She's a grown ass woman. She'll deal with it and she'll move on from it. But to kind of drag it out, it's kind of more cruel, in my opinion.
That
Oh, it definitely is. Like you made excellent points. Excellent points. Like I mean, it's literally just falling on me
this
again, just me being in a new situation. So
Right. I mean, just know that you can't think for somebody else. You can only think for you. So, like, focus on what it is that you want, what kind of life you want to lead, and the people that you want to have around. If this is not somebody you want to have around, this is not somebody you want to, take this journey of life with, then there's no point in it.
that's true.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Now, see, I like how you actually said that. That was, man, you guys did really really good. Just want you to know that, because I'm sitting here just listening because I got a notepad and paper writing stuff down because I might need that later. Because
get it how you can get it.
exactly, because the thing is, how do you identify again, Kev?
So again, there's a sexual attraction. There's romantic attraction. I am definitely heterosexual, cisgendered.
Hmm.
That means not transgendered. I identify with the gender that I was when I was born with, so male. Uh, Heterosexual. I am sexually attracted to women because that's it's just what was within me.
Hmm.
But I am definitely aromantic. So in that sense, anything that involves romance, whether it's cuddling, kissing, holding hands, to some extent hugging, but basically kind of made. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I guess I'm kind of touch averse too because I kind of don't want like hugging at all either. But I do it with family because they're family. But one thing I like, this has been with me since I was a kid. Like every family member knows never to kiss me, even on the cheek, anywhere. It's like, no, I don't want that. So, but yeah, definitely aromantic. So anything that involves romance of any kind, anything that I perceive as something that's romantic, like um, like I talked with Jason on occasion of like he's all like, yeah, I don't like romance either, all that cuddly stuff. I'm like, no, you're thinking of just traditional romance, like the stuff that they show on romance comedies and movies and all that. I'm like, I'm looking at it as a whole spectrum. If I think that you're flirting, I am completely just uninterested and turned off from it. Like it's just a shut mouth.
Hmm.
So that's been a big part of my life, and that's been the main reason why I haven't gotten in a relationship of any kind. Like even though I'll be sexually attracted to women, I won't go out of my way or won't even go in the general direction of trying to form some sort of relationship with women because I don't want to be a part of anything that I perceive as romantic. So for that reason, I've been single my whole life, a virgin my whole life, just because.
Hmm. Now, I was gonna make a counter to that, but I do believe, Daniel, you have questions.
Well, he actually answered like the one question I had was what was the difference between being asexual and a romantic, and the other that I had was since you said that you were a romantic and that you are sexual, was do you have sex? But you said you are a virgin, so because I was trying to understand how you can be sexual but not have sex. So I guess how does that work? Is it just the sexual attraction? So do you have sex with
Yeah,
yourself?
I mean, I figure that everyone who has any sort of, masturbating is a thing, but as far as like sexual attraction, it's more like I look at a woman, if I find her, if she fits into the mold of what I think is sexy, then I'm like, yeah, I am attracted to this woman. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'll appreciate her from afar. I might even, smile. I'll smile and wave at anyone because I try to be just a genuine human being with whoever I'm meeting. But, if I find a woman attractive, then that's basically the end of it. In my head, I think she's attractive. I like her, and I'll just move on.
It's one of those things where, correct me if I'm wrong. It's one of those things where you can appreciate that beauty, and you can have the attraction to them, but the actual acts of touching and whatnot,
Not
you're averse to.
even. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And I do watch porn, so that works as I guess as a good enough outlet for me. Like the whole virtual whatever. Like I'll get my fill there and then not feel the need to go on or get something more. And just putting it out there. Porn is all fictitious. It's all over the top. It's not real. It's not what real sex is. I know that. I think it's still important to put out there for everyone else to know. You know, porn is an actual sex. But the idea, the thing that stimulates, the imagination, the desires, and all that, it's decent. It's good enough for me to get my fill of it and then be done with it.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean porn is not actual sex? Are you talking about you watching porn is not actual sex? So
No,
like,
I mean like the actual content. Kids get into porn around like high schoolish. During their puberty hits off. They search around on the internet and they're like, okay, that's going at it, going at it with each other, and in their to a child's mind, they could perceive that like they're learning how to have sex by watching these actors on the
oh,
computer
okay, I see what
screen.
you mean. Okay, I
That's
see
not,
what you mean. Okay.
yeah.
So do you
And
want to have sex though?
No, not really. Like the
Like if you
desire is
could have
there.
sex without the hugging and the kissing, because I'm sure that's doable at some point. Um, would you be up for that? Or is that what you want?
I mean,
But that would be like
the
kind of like
root of it,
hugging.
the root of it is more like I don't have a desire to want that, and I feel like porn and masturbation is a decent enough release for to satisfy whatever sexual craving I'm having to be a sufficient substitute. Like, and I would like I guess part of it might be just me not really caring about people in general. Like I don't want to be with someone physically just to be with someone. So the idea, like if some woman just walked up and it's like, let's do something right now, no strings attached, uh, nothing. It's all on both of our terms. We do whatever. I would most likely turn that down, not necessarily because I don't have any sexual attraction to her, but more because I just don't want to do it.
Mm.
And see, I like you say that because yes, we've been friends for a long time, but I think I'm on the opposite spectrum on that because we're not opposite, but I'm on a different part of it because I am a demisexual, which means I'm heterosexual just like you. We said those are different and whatnot. But what I want out of it is the actual relationship part, like the actual emotional bond. Demisexual, basically, I need an emotional attachment before I can develop sexual feelings for you. Like we talked about before we started doing this episode, that there is somebody that I actually do like. This person I have had no actual sexual thoughts about because I've actually been enjoying building that bond and relationship with them. I When you said the porn thing, I watch porn occasionally. It's not really often, and it's really one of those like I'm bored, let me do something kind of things. I don't have the same kind of build up that most people do, where it's like, man, I got to get rid of this and I got to do this. But I don't normally because I can be with a very attractive woman or what have you, and they could be really close up on me. But if I don't have a connection to them in any way, shape, or form, it's not even a wiggle. It's just that's why, like Daniel, we've talked in private about this. You never hear me talk about actually having sex with people. I talk
Mhm.
about the relationships I have with them because to me that's far more important. Like I know that in a relationship that is important and I can do that, but only once I build a connection with you. Like I know a lot of our listeners think that I'm a man whore, but the interesting about that is most of the people that I've been with are people I've been with for years because I have to build some kind of relationship with them. I usually build a relationship before I have any kind of sex with them. I'm kind of old school when it comes to that because again, more recently I had a girl who tried to have, she was like, we should do something. I was like, well, yeah, I guess so. I was gonna give it a shot. I was in my feelings, like, let's give it a shot. No, never got to the dance, as they say, because it's just nothing. Because I didn't care about her, so it was just. And she tried her best. She did the normal things that are my turn ons, but because I don't have that connection to her, it did nothing. So
I mean, but I get that because it's like you're really trying to form that connection and build that bond with somebody, and at the same time, it's like you're building trust, and a sense of loyalty, and you really getting to know what a person's character is like before you take it to that next level, which could actually cloud, your whole judgment because you may
exactly,
not see who they truly are. You
and
know,
mhm.
I mean, so I get that. I get that part of it.
where it gets kind of tricky is the bond ends up being the most important thing to me. I won't name names, but one of my exes, we're gonna call her Cat. It's not anywhere remotely similar to her name, but we're gonna call her Cat. We were together for 6 years. I can count every time we had sex because she, how do I put this? She was a straight up asexual, like an old school, what most people think asexual means, where sex just wasn't a thing she was interested in. And I was more about, the bond and whatnot. So, like, if I didn't push towards sex or at least bring it up, it just didn't happen. So it just didn't happen because it never really mattered to me. I think I remember one of the groups that I'm in, I asked the question, how long can you go without having sex? And a lot of people say, 3 months, 6 months, whatnot. And I never answer the question because the longest I've gone while in an actual full relationship was 4.5 years because it's a non-factor for me. I tell girls that I'm with, like I'm building a bond with, that sex is not a deal breaker for me because it is an added bonus, but it's not necessary or required for me. It just isn't. It, it never has been, and it won't be because it's never on my mind. It just never.
So I feel like the total dude in this situation because I am on the very opposite end of you two guys. I, I am very sexual. I'm a heterosexual. I identify with being a woman. um, yeah, like if I like a guy, like, oh well, I guess that's more so my problem is that I really don't like anybody when I meet them. It's like I don't know. I just haven't had a connection with anybody late, but once I like have some type of connection, and I mean it doesn't have to be much of anything, it's just like a physical and mental connection that I have, and they could just be less off top, right?
Mhm.
But after that's established and I'm like, okay, I like him, then it could be on and popping right then and there. And I'm always thinking about it. Like, especially with that person I had a connection with. I
Mhm.
mean, so I don't fully I mean I understand you all, but I don't really get it.
You understand it, but you ain't feeling
Yeah, I wouldn't implement it.
it. I mean, I totally get that because, and there's many reasons that I totally understand. One reason that it's hard to understand this is because I can't speak for you. I don't like speaking for other people, but I know when it comes to me, I come off as a quote unquote normal uh, sexual person. The whole people talk about the how I'm a player or whatnot and have you. Well, no, it's just I like to talk to people. I like to be funny, sarcastic, get laughs, and occasionally hit on people. Not because I want to actually get them. I hit on them because it's interesting dialogue and it's great icebreakers. And I and I have to dial that back sometimes because people think I'm legitimately hitting on them, which I am definitely not. And I mean, in all seriousness, sometimes I am actually legitimately hitting on somebody that I am interested in. Like we did this episode about the Dick Pics episode, where I was talking to Explosion. I'm interested in Explosion. She's interesting and she is fun and she's smart. Again, connection. We actually have normal conversations in real life. So that's a connection. So I could actually, I could see myself doing something with somebody that I have connection with. As opposed to I've had some guests where they were fun, I suppose, and nothing. I see nothing in that. Some people in my life, like nothing. I'm the type of guy that if you're somebody who's just somebody that just around, we can sleep in a whole bed completely naked and nothing happened from my end because you're just not interesting. You're just not interesting to me like that. I want to see what your personality is like before anything else, if that makes sense. Oh, here's how I sum it up. Haven put it perfectly. She said, and I may butcher her quote. She said, "I don't want to wake up next to a bum because even the sex is A1. I don't want to wake up to somebody that I'm ashamed to be next to." Because she said anybody can have good sex, but not everybody can have a good personality.
This is true. That's very true.
Because
But the thing is that when the personality don't match up, unless you have like some really good sex with somebody and it's like I don't even give a shit about all that extra stuff. Um, the personality like really that's what's gonna keep you around.
that's
Like
true.
if your personality is kind of shitty and your sex game is not, I mean, why would I stay and you have a shitty personality? You know what I mean? So
True. I know
nobody, you don't want that around you all the time because this shit brings you down.
it is, and I think one thing that heteros. I hate using the word normal for everybody because there's no such thing as normal, but when you say the term normal in this realm, everyone knows what you're talking about. So
Right.
I'm just going to use the word normal from now on. But when you have a normal sexual orientation, and the one thing that's similar between that and at least what I have, is that you can get caught in where like, oh, I like their personality at first. We build a relationship at first, and then they become crummy or they don't become crummy. They just show their crummy side, or you show yours. You find you're not that compatible in certain cases. Because I was feeling this girl for a very long time, and her sex game, like she had a very high sex, high sex drive. Like I'm talking 2-3 times a day, and I'll be honest, I kept up best I could. The thing was, it was enjoyable. She was easily the best girl I've ever had sex with, but her personality slowly, showed, and I guess my personality didn't respond to that very well. But because we were already in a relationship for so long, I started to justify her actions, and she started to justify mine, and that's dangerous, and that's something that can happen to you no matter what you identify as, because that's just a normal human behavior. So that's one thing that can actually link us all together.
Oh,
it came off more sad than I wanted it to. That came off super sad. Well, I started off nice because she is the best sex I've ever had in my entire life. Like, like toes curl, just amazing. Anyway, and you wouldn't have guessed it, but but you know what they say? Those Catholic girls, man, holding
Lord.
something back. Yep, since I saw a rosary, I knew it was gonna be on. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
but no. To wrap this around, what would you? This is my final question. When it comes to, I guess, sexuality, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. Okay. We're doing a series. We've already said we're doing a series on sexuality. We've talked about asexuality. We've talked about demi. We've talked about aromantic. What would you like to hear next, and why?
Oh gosh.
Because no matter what sexuality you pick, I've already got a piece of paper with the guests already lined up for the episode. So don't even worry about that. Just something you're curious in finding out.
I have no idea.
We got Kevin. What are some sexualities?
All right, so L for lesbian, G for gay, B for bisexual, T for transsexual, LGBT, Q for what was Q? Q was either questioning or queer.
I can never remember which one it is.
I think I've heard it used both times by different people.
Yep.
Yeah. Q, let's see, I, that's for intersex. Do we know any people who are intersex? I don't know.
I do know one.
I don't even know what that is.
I honestly don't know what it is either, but that's what she identifies as. So,
biphobia. Oh, God.
You said what?
I'm just looking at all these different types of sexualities.
There are a lot.
I just don't know what biphobia.
I don't know what that is.
It's a fear of bi.
Now you know.
You
know what's funny about that? That biphobia, if that's what that means, and I of course believe you, I totally see that because that's a big thing, actually.
You know what actually is interesting to me is this whole idea of sexual fluidity now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would actually, because I don't really understand that. So I would like to actually talk to somebody that
is sexually fluid.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass the buck to Kevin, who is my main man when it comes to finding people. Oh, you would be amazed. He had a whole panel of people ready for your episode. A whole panel.
Oh my God.
We just decided that it'd be best for just us.
Oh, that's a great way to phrase what actually happened.
Yes, so we're gonna. That's the story. We're sticking to it. But so you want gender fluidity? Ooh,
Gender fluid. I mean, there's gender fluid and there's. Oh man, that's gonna be. You said sexual fluidity, so that's what we can stick with it.
Sexual.
Because gender fluidity is a thing too.
And we have people for that.
Yeah. You think boy and girl are the only two genders? It's not.
We personally know somebody who's actually gender fluid. We know two.
Well, oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
It's always good to ask their pronouns.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she was my ex too, surprisingly, interestingly enough. Yeah. I was like, "Hey, girl, it's a boy." All right.
Yep. Let's just use the singular they.
Yep. She's okay with that too, or they are okay with that. But no, that's what it is. It's been decided. You heard it here first. That is the next episode. We are absolutely going to have you back on that episode. Absolutely. So get your questions ready.
Sexual fluidity.
She's good. You know what? It's been decided. If we do this series on sexuality, I want you here on these episodes, if you do not mind.
Okay.
This is great. So where can we find you? I know we can find you. He knows we can find you, but let's let the listeners know.
So you can find me on Facebook at Between Us Girls in the group section or on the fan page. You can also go to our website, betweenusgirlspodcast.com.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Hello?
Hey.
I'm still here. What happened? Is everyone here? No, I just gotta edit this part together when she comes back in.
Yeah. Still haven't done the actual intro.
No, we haven't. But you know what? That's fine. Because push come to shove. Well, no, I can't do that. When she comes back in, we'll just edit the beginning and the end again. I'm glad it happened after we had all the good talk.
Oh, yeah.
It literally happened as soon as it finished. So you got those guests lined up, right?
They'll be lined up.
See, that's why you're A1. This is going to be great. I just messaged her to be like, hey, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Oh, cool. So just do that part over again. We lost you for a second. So let me start over.
Okay.
So where can we find you?
You can find me on betweenusgirlspodcast.com. You can just head right on over to our website. You can catch us on social media there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you can listen to us in browser, or you could subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and wherever else you can find podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely join our Facebook group. We have a lot of fun in there.
Oh, so much. That hot seat thing, that hot seat episode, that was great. That was great. I learned so much. And I'm going to plug this for you because that's what we do. Definitely check out their Patreon because their show is great. They've had this wonderful guest on named Jason. He was kind of fun. He's all right. You should definitely hit their Patreon up. I did earlier this week, and I was not disappointed. Kevin.
Oh, thanks.
Kevin, where can we find you? You sound familiar. Where can we find you?
Oh yeah, well, I've been around the way a few times. You can find me on RCR Reviews. We've got a Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, SoundCloud. So it's the letters RCR and review spelled out like review. There may or may not be an S. Well, I'll provide the link for other people to look. Depend,
Hmm.
but yeah, uh, like yeah. And Jason, this was a great thing you set up. Like to have you over on RCR a couple times. Discuss nerdy stuff, comic books, uh, society,
Culture.
life, whatever.
Uh, Heads up, they have invited me over to bring back a segment that comes back every once in a while when it's important, called Blacks Talk Back. It
Yep.
is. I've gotten an inside scoop that it's coming back pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Yep. Just a bunch of black nerds talking about what they think.
Oh, and it's really really good. So obviously, if you want to find us, we are on. This is Comic Jaunt. Find it on Twitter at Comic Jaunt. On Facebook, we have the page is also called Comic Jaunt, and you can find us also on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean, our home. And please subscribe, comment, share, like all that good stuff. Thank you for y'all for being here. It's been fantastic.
Thanks
You
for
already
having
know.
me.